We're really honored to have with us tonight on Nile TV International and on Exclusive, Professor Dr. Heba Handoussa, Managing Director of Egypt Network for Integrated Development. Professor Dr. Handoussa, thank you so much for joining Nile TV International. We're really honored to have you and very much proud of the story of success. Empowering women is a story of success, and definitely it has been a long march and more than one important step towards empowering women in Egypt and especially also in Upper Egypt.
I'm so grateful for this visit. I honestly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart that you should have come all the way to interview me and listen to our story of success in the south of Egypt. We started at the start of 2012, so we're now 12 years old and going strong. The purpose of our endeavor is to activate all of the processes that can give women a better chance in their life. Where we are today, if I was to put it in a nutshell, is you have illiterate women, because we focus on the poorest of the poor, who are striving to have their daughter go to university. They have that much hope because we've created jobs for them close to home, and at the same time they don't need to work more than 6 hours a day, even in ready-made garments. So I think this is an achievement, because if you ask anywhere in the world, I'm an industrialist, so I know, I'm an industrial researcher and economist. No private sector firm accepts to employ in ready-made garments less than 8 hours a day. And we were able to show them that we can get as much output from women, and if we need and when we need, we have a second shift, and we're making good business.
Professor Handoussa, it has been a long march, and Egyptian women under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took great strides towards women empowerment. How do you see this march?
For a start, I would say that when we think about where you can make a difference, from the very start, we tested, and it turned out to be true, that it has to be integrated development. In other words, you don't focus on the services, for instance, health or education, the care economy. You don't focus only on industry or only on agriculture. We started with the 3 different areas with specialists, and we were willing to study. Because I have a research background, I was able to bring the knowledge of how to ask the right questions and how to respond to the needs of the people on the ground who are the poorest of the poor. So the first thing we did was to use the poverty map in Egypt so that it will tell us where the poor are. Plus, we also were able to shake hands with ministries. I'm working with 11 ministries. They're all aware of what we're doing on the ground. This is essential because unless in the medium to long term you influence policymakers and you have them adopt the right interventions, you don't go very far. And we'd like what we've done that was successful to be repeated across all of the South. Another point is that actually we're following very closely the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030. We're halfway, so I'm now involved in this huge project with whichever Arab countries also want to join us to work on what we call localization, توطين in Arabic.
مبادرة حياة كريمة هي محاولة مننا إن إحنا نعالج مسائل مزمنة في مناطق هي الأكثر فقراً على الإطلاق في بلدنا مصر ونغيرها تماماً.
وأنني أعلن اليوم انطلاق هذا المشروع الطموح تنمية الريف المصري حياة كريمة مستعيناً على تنفيذه بالله وبثقة في قدرات المصريين دولة وشعباً، فإنني أعتبره تدشيناً للجمهورية الجديدة.
تعالى اللي بيقولنا عايز خدمات، تعالى.
عاوزين نحس إن هنا أحسن من مدينة نصر بكتير.
اللي أنت عايزه هنعمله. لا مش معروف، ده أنا تحت أمرك.
إحساس من القلب.
ربنا يوفقك للخير.
إحساس أكبر من كلمة.
ربنا يستر معاك. راح يا رئيس السيسي.
إحساس إن أنت معايا.
والله قلب وسكر وكبد.
ألف لا بأس.
وضغط.
اللي أنت عايزها هتعمل لك.
إن شاء الله يبارك لك.
حاضر.
بتكون لي سند وإيديك تتمد.
وأنت اسمك إيه؟ ياسين. أهلا وسهلا. كل سنة وأنتم طيبين.
شكرا ما تكفيش والحزن الحظ عمرنا ما بنضعف ولا نتهز يا ما عدى علينا انا وانت حاجات وقدرنا عليها.
احلى حاجه حصلت لي في حياتي اللي انا شفت حضرتك النهارده.
ممكن إيه؟ أطلع لك
ومحدش يخسر معركة هو مآمن بيها.
أنا بتمنى إن حضرتك تسمع صوتي، ممكن؟
ده أنا نفسي أسمع صوتي.
شكرا ما تكفيش، شكرا ما تكفيش.
The digital transformation is a key transformation for all sectors. So when you take this broader look, you say, okay, how can I reach the goals, the SDGs, unless I don't simply equate Egypt as a middle-income country, high middle income. No, that's a summary. It's an average. We don't work with averages. In the South, we have to work with the system as well as the data and statistics of the South. So what is missing, we are totally aware of. We've been there for 12 years, and we're now building, with the support of the UN system and various partners, we're building a knowledge hub. And that's the secret, that we can put into that hub lessons on what you can do and will work, and what you should avoid doing because I tried it and it failed. So I think we all have a lot of hope, plus the interventions of our leader, Sisi, which has made a drastic difference on the ground. We now have what you can call infrastructure. There was no infrastructure. We have good roads so that you can transport things and people. We also have much better digital access. We have a lot of opportunities to work with the local NGOs. Okay, that's turned out to be essential because there's not enough people to help you on the ground, but there are a lot of independent NGOs, not-for-profit organizations, and they have opened their doors for us. In one governorate where we focus the most, which is the governorate of Qena, we are in 74 of the poorest villages for the past 10 years, and we won't leave them until they're no longer in need. And our partners are the local not-for-profit organizations, and that's a treasure that Egypt has and doesn't use. They have space, they have goodwill, people trust them, and there you are.
قسما بالله، أنا بقسم بالله اللي اتعمل فيك يا مصر ما يتعمل في 20-30 سنة.
هنشيل بلدنا على كتافنا، مش هنسيبها ولا هنضيعها.
هفضل أبني وأعمر فيها لغاية لما تنتهي يا حياتي يا مدتي.
Professor Dr. Handoussa, if we are going to talk about this story of success and the sort of incentives that has been provided to these women in order to excel and to earn their living and to be in a different place today, how do you see this huge difference in their lives? And how about this important incentive that will definitely make a difference in other women's lives as well if they follow suit?
It takes a few things. I don't think they're difficult. First, you have to make it worth their while, because we tried to just do literacy classes, and women just kept dropping out of the classes because they weren't interested. They couldn't link it with other things in their lives. When we promised them that their children could come for a preschool, which we built at the bottom of the building where we're working, which belongs to a civil society organization, it made a difference. Plus, even more, because they were still dropping out, they get bored with, what am I going to do with reading and writing? So, I watch television, and the children go to school, and I don't know what they're doing, but I make sure they sit and work. When we told them, we're going to train you to sew, just one skill, because it's the easiest to have a few sewing machines, that was when it made all the difference. So they work close to home. They don't have to take any transport, and they also don't work more than 6 hours. Even our factory, we have two huge, the first two factories for ready-made garments in Qena, which has 3.5 million inhabitants. The first two proper ready-made garment factory. Now that the state has also provided all of these additional facilities, like you have much better transport, you have much better ability with telephones, and all of the digital infrastructure has improved enormously. We're starting to see private sector organizations come and work in our industrial zone, which was literally useless for decades. Now there is interest. I mean, I remember, I'm an industrial economist. I remember my friends in the business of ready-made garments, because we follow best practices from the international arena. You know, what did India do that was best? What did Japan, Korea, South Korea, now Bangladesh? So you know what to try, but nobody would come. Nobody. Now we have great hope, and also we work very closely with the university. And if you notice, universities have also had their chance in the last 10 years. So we're doing a lot better with linking people. I mean, when the lady who's totally illiterate tells you, I want my daughter to go to university, I'm planning for it.
Those are definitely happy moments. Those are moments of pride. How do you feel when this huge success and huge difference happens in those women's lives? And what does it take for others in order to be encouraged, to be provided incentives? What are the most happy moments, or let me say, the happy messages that have reached you from them? And I'm sure you are very proud of them today.
Everything, all aspects. I mean, when they cross the river, and they've never been across the Nile to see the city, how would you feel? So when you ask them, you know, what do you want to do next? They want all the things men want, boys want, etc. And it's wonderful if you can help them get there. Our first 1,000 women have a contract at our different, we have other things than just ready-made garments. They have a pension, and everybody's pointing fingers at them, those lucky ladies. So I thought that, I think that it's contagious.
Egypt, under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, took great measures on the path of sustainability, sustainable development. How do you see Egypt's Vision 2030?
You know, in my view, it's not just Egypt. Even the Gulf countries have the same problem of what we call localization. So that's what I'm encouraging countries in the Gulf to work with us, because we all have those localities. Geography matters. What we're talking about is geography. There are those that are not getting the benefit of development in all countries. Even in Europe, you have those that are left behind. Each country is excelling in some fields and not in others. Egypt has done wonderfully in the last 10 years on health. It hasn't done well at all on education. Other people have done much better on education, catching up on behalf of all. We're catching up, but we could do much better. So one always has to compare where we are with where we could be with some changes.
A message through Nile TV International to those women and also to every woman around the world watching us now. You are an inspirational icon yourself. So what does it take to be successful as a woman and as a leader?
I want them to believe that success is possible in a very short period. I mean, we've been trying. That's why we've built a knowledge hub. Because what we did took, let's say, 10 years. I believe it needs 3 years. And that's why I want people to learn what it is we did and what we did that was wrong and that they shouldn't do.
Professor Dr. Heba Handoussa, Managing Director of Egypt's Network for Integrated Development. I thank you so much for joining us here on Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein. We're really proud of your efforts And God bless you, and God bless your efforts. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, and I should thank you. Can I add one thing? I'd like all of those who are listening to believe that Egypt has one of the best maps of poverty in the world. Every household that is visited, there are 43 indicators of poverty. So when you find out you want to help a particular village, you can check and find out where their problems are and then focus on that. So it's a mix of research with implementation.
That was exclusive with Taghreed Hussein, and we have our icon, Professor Dr. Heba Handoussa, talking to us about a march and a story of success. Many thanks for watching.